People voted for major government reform. There should be no doubt about that. That was on the campaign. The president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what people are going to get. They're going to get what they voted for.
That message coming from tech billionaire Elon Musk, but not everybody's on board. Protesters taking to bridges over I-75 and I-475 today, telling drivers that they've had enough of Musk's role in President Trump's administration. Steve Iwanek, he was there. He joins us now live. Steve, it sounds like these people are concerned about their privacy.
That's right, Jeff. As drivers were making their way home from work, they were met with signs calling for change. In particular, a demand for stronger data protection against a man that they feel poses a big risk to America. However, we did hear from some Musk supporters who tell us that his role in the government is something that is long overdue. Across 4 overpasses, read 4 messages, directed at one man, Elon Musk.
He's going against our government, he's not an elected official, and he's just overstepping his bounds right now.
Sal Pizzino is with the local political activist group Toledo Persists. Alongside dozens of other protesters, he helped raise signs over Toledo streets, calling for Musk to step away from his new role in the federal government.
We're trying to stop these billionaires from taking over.
President Donald Trump, since taking office, has used Musk as a volunteer to lead an effort to slash federal spending. He's tasked him with running the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, a role that Republican State Representative Josh Williams says has long been desired.
We've been looking for that for decades. We want to see where there's waste, misuse, abuse of our taxpayer funds. We see increasing calls for more and more taxes being taken out of our paychecks, and we simply want to know where the money's being spent.
Since Trump took office, CBS News says DOGE has been able to access several federal systems, including the Treasury Department. But a recent poll shows 51% of Americans believe DOGE should play at least some role in overseeing federal spending.
We are getting exactly what we voted for, nothing else.
But for these protesters, the issue goes beyond efficiency. They say it threatens privacy and democracy itself.
The literal integrity of our information and our data privacy and our lives is at stake.
Skylar Beckwith leads the Lucas County Democratic Party. She thinks Musk's access inside D.C. poses serious threats.
Accessing the public Wi-Fi at the library is very different than Elon Musk accessing the data of every single American. I mean, that is a different thing, and that is malicious, and it's really scary.
For the protesters, every honk was a signal of support.
The people have to rise up and say, no, we don't agree. If you just go along docilely and nobody's responding, they're like, they don't know that they're getting any pushback. This is one way to push back.
Now, President Trump has a positive approval rating in the early weeks of his administration, but we wanted to ask exactly what's behind these numbers and what should we watch for in the weeks ahead, Steve?
Yeah, Jeff, that's a good point, and I think it's important to remember that a new CBS poll shows that 70% of Americans, whether they voted for Trump or not, feel that he's actually following through with a lot of his campaign promises. Now, on foreign policy, the poll looked at Trump's recent comments about the U.S. taking over Gaza. It says most Americans, they're not on board with that idea, but a lot of his supporters don't necessarily see it as a direct goal, but more so as a starting point for future negotiations. In West Toledo, Steve Iwanek, WTOL HWY.